Have you ever considered building yourself a small boat? Well, whether you answered yes or no to that question, I think you may find this video interesting regardless. There's a friend of mine named Benjy who is from the UK and now lives in France. He is a shipwright by trade, so he's got lots of different skills under his belt, but he's also an inventor and he's written some really interesting boat building plans, which are the subject of this video today. I believe us Brits have a tendency to be a little bit eccentric, and Benjy is no exception to that. I actually think the guy's a genius. So come and have a look at his plans and see if you agree or not. Here we are on Benjy's website. The first boat we're going to look at is the Origami, which is the one that we built. This is an incredible little boat. It folds down to 4 inches wide. It's either 6 foot or 8 foot long, depending on which version you build. It rows really well. It planes, even with a 30-year-old outboard like we had. And you can also sail it around. So when you arrive in an anchorage, you can anchor your boat and then you can get your tender out and you can explore all the shallow areas by sailing around in your tender. So it's such good fun. It's a really great thing to have. The 6 foot version weighs about 15 kilos and the 8 foot version weighs around 20 kilos. So it's very lightweight, it's easy to move around, it can be carried up a beach, and it's just a really, really versatile little boat. Folding and unfolding the boat is really quick and easy. It takes about a minute, and that makes this dinghy incredibly versatile. It can be carried on the roof rack of a car, inside a camper van. It can be kept at home, in a garage, or even in a gap between a wardrobe and a wall. It's an amazing little boat, and to be honest with you, I'm gutted that we don't still have ours. We had to sell it with our old boat. Maybe one day I'll build another one. We're now going to have a look at the Fliptail, which is another folding boat, and you can see how that is opened and closed in the top of the screen there. This comes in 3 different versions, 6, 7 and 9 feet. The 6 foot version comes in at around 15 kilos and can carry around 150 kilos. The 7 foot version weighs just 18 kilos and can carry around 200 kilos. And the 9 foot version weighs 23 kilos and can carry around 250 kilos. So potentially you could get your whole family in a 9 foot version. The Fliptail can also be turned into a sailing version, and the instructions for doing that are contained within the plans. Again, the Fliptail can plane with an outboard engine, and its maximum speed is around 14 knots. Here we can see some images of customer builds. You can customize this and have it look however you like. And again, the Fliptail is folding, so because of that, this can be used in small spaces. It can be kept in a living room, as you can see there. You can keep it in a garage, or it can be kept on a relatively small boat without taking up too much room. Here's an image of an unusual use for a Fliptail, but very useful. There's a bunch of guys there, 10 or 12 blokes. They're paddling out to an island and they're carrying all their gear inside the Fliptail and using it as a kind of barge. So this is another fantastic boat which ticks lots of boxes and can be used for lots of different things. The next boat we're going to look at is the Stache, which is a super lightweight nesting dinghy. You can see the top of the screen there how this nests within itself. This can actually be done in the water because the 2 parts are buoyant, so you can sit in one of the sides and pull either one towards you and assemble it in the water. And the incredible thing about this is how little it weighs. It weighs just 10 kilos. Which for a 7 foot boat is just incredible. If I just scroll down here, you can see a completed boat. This is actually a special version of it called a tweed. So this one takes a little bit longer to build, but look at the result that you get. It's absolutely beautiful. The Stache can carry 2 adults and can take up to a 3.3 horsepower engine. And you can also put a sailing rig on this and sail it around. So the Stache might be perfect for a couple of different types of people. First of all, if you've got a small foredeck and you struggle to fit a large tender on there, then the fact that this is nesting solves that problem for you. And also, if there's anybody out there that struggles to lift a normal tender, you know, 30 kilos might not be doable for some people. If you're on your own and maybe you're advanced in years, you might not be able to lift a dinghy of that weight, whereas this one weighs 10 kilos, so that opens up more possibilities to you to continue to cruise, even if you struggle to lift that kind of weight. So that's the Stache for you. The next boat we're going to look at is the Dexter, which is a 5.5 foot hard dinghy. And the amazing thing about this is it has a hole in the front. It has the option to be built with a removable section at the front of the boat, and as a result of that, you can do this with it. It can fit around your mast. So if you've got a very limited deck space, then this little hard dinghy can fit in that space that would otherwise be inaccessible to you. The Dexter weighs around 30 kilos, it can carry 2 adults, and again it can take a 3.3 horsepower outboard, and you can also build a sailing version of this one too. So if you're looking for a hard dinghy that's easy to build and can fit into a small space, then perhaps this is the boat for you. The last boat on Benjy's website is the Stache, which is an easy to build 12 foot folding canoe. The Stache weighs in at around 20 kilos and it folds down to just 15 centimeters wide. So whether you've got limited space on your boat or perhaps you've even got limited space at your home, this is a really good solution to giving you a canoe that packs away really small. At the top of the screen there you can see how easily the Stache folds and unfolds, and it only takes around a minute to do this to get it set up to launch. So that's it for Benjy's boat plans. However, before we leave, let's have a look at another couple of things that he's got which are really very interesting. Lots of sailors like other outdoor activities, and have a look at this for an innovative product. It is a lightweight 2-berth folding bicycle caravan. At the top of the screen there you can see how the folder van opens and closes, and it has 3 different widths. One for storage, one for towing with the bike, and then one where you open it out for camping in it. So you can tow this behind your bike, and potentially you can even carry one of Benjy's boats inside it. A Fliptail or an Origami will actually fit inside this. Benjy's got some really nice stories on his website, and it's great to see some of his previous customers and read about their adventures. There's a message here from a couple who took their folder van through France. They spent 2 months travelling through France with this. So the adventures are there. If you've got an open mind and you're ready for doing something crazy, why not? The folder van is kind of like a zero maintenance version of a teardrop trailer. I love things like this. I love things that are out of the ordinary and challenge people's perceptions of what you can and can't do. The fun doesn't end there though. There is also a wooden bicycle that you can build yourself. And the last thing, this is a really cool innovation, is the slider van. And you can see from the top of the screen there, this is a telescopic mini caravan which weighs just 300 kilos unladen, so it can be towed by the smallest of cars. For example, a Fiat Panda. And because it's telescopic, it drops down to the same height as the car or less, and therefore there's virtually no wind resistance, and this would probably add almost nothing to your fuel bill. Just imagine the cool road trips you could have with a slider van. Another thing about Benjy's work that is close to our hearts is that he plants 5 trees for every set of plans that he sells. This is another reason why I think that myself and Benjy are kindred spirits. So what do you think, and which of those designs is your favourite? Leave a comment below and I'll follow along with interest, because I'm actually interested in building another one of these boats, and your feedback will help me decide which one I'm going to go for. If you are tempted to buy some plans, I do highly recommend them. I bought them myself. They're really detailed. You get about 100 pages of plans, and not only do you learn to build a boat, but you also learn some very useful skills from a very skilled guy, and you can carry those skills forward with you for the rest of your life. So it's a really good buy, and I recommend it to anyone. Also, you will be shocked at how much fun it is to make a boat. It was about 5 years ago when I built ours, and I can still remember the smell of the pine as I planed that wood. It was really the first woodwork project that I'd ever done. And the satisfaction that you get the first time you launch a boat that you've built and row it around or sail it, it can't be described. It's such good fun. Click on the link below to go through to Benjy's website and check out the designs yourself. Subscribe to see more of our videos, and we'll see you very soon. Ciao!